Greetings YouTube, Simon here and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII, and we are at that point where we are going to be taking a stand, making a stand for Aerith and rescuing her, taking a stand for the many people that just lost their lives when the plate fell at the hands of Shinra themselves, and just generally taking a stand for justice overall. So we are going to be raiding the headquarters, and we will have two options by which to do this. We can either sneak in quietly, you know, not make our presence known, or we can just bust in and get the job done. I'm actually going to be recommending to you that you take the busting in option, okay? We're just going to go straight in through the front door, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons as to why you might want to do this. But before we go and rescue the population from the clutches of the vile, the evil Shinra Corporation, I just want to start by giving a shout out to Dom. Dom is our latest patron, signed up yesterday, so thank you so much for your support, Dom, and of course to everybody else who supports the channel through Patreon or as a YouTube member. Okay then, so busting in over sneaking in quietly. First of all, for those of you like me after the best bromance trophy, it does appear that Barrett prefers the busting in option over the sneaking in quietly, so it's possible that there's a point behind the scene for those mechanics that go into Barrett's direction should you choose bust on in. However, if you choose sneaking quietly, then Tifa gets all giddy about that, so it's possible she gets points instead. I can't confirm that on this particular dialogue option, but just bear that in mind, it is possible. So for the very sake of that particular trophy, I'd recommend just selecting Let's Bust On In. Now, of course, there are multiple differences between busting in through the front door and sneaking in quietly round the back. First of all, of course, the big difference is that you get enemy encounters if you bust on in, you don't if you sneak in quietly. Now, the only reward that's extra for sneaking in quietly is an elixir, which is found on the stairs on the path that you take. Now, that elixir is actually a nice item, and you might not want to miss out on that. But here's the thing, you don't have to. By busting in, you can still approach the stairs. You can approach the stairs and get the elixir. I do that a little bit later and I'll show you in this video. However, by choosing Let's Bust On In, you get some additional rewards on top as well, which you probably don't want to miss out of. First of all, in the lobby area, once you first enter the building, you're going to have the option of reading the Turtles Paradise Flyer number 2. So for those of you doing that side quest, that's obviously really important to be able to do that. So yeah, that's located just at the back here, while still on the first floor of the lobby area. But that's not the only thing you can do using this particular path. Before we make our way over to the lift, which is where the game wants us to go, we're going to head up to the next part of the lobby area, the second floor, and make our way over to the northeast corner, where there's a building, or a room rather, that's open to us. And inside here, you'll notice there's a couple of treasure chests. We can't access these yet, I should point that out. But there is actually an NPC that we can speak to in order to stock up on items. And okay, I confess that perhaps the shop alone isn't reason enough for busting in, but obviously it's more of a bonus than anything else, just in case you need to stock up on anything. Now, while you're in this room, the other thing worth mentioning is it's not a material reward, but you can actually access a little cutscene by engaging with the television over on the other wall here, and that will actually show you an advertisement for Shinra Motors, which is a little bit of an interesting and funny thing that a lot of people don't know about, so hey, you might want to check that out as well. And once you've got everything you want out of this room, head up to the next floor where you can catch the lift. And this is going to start taking us up to floor 59, but we are going to be interrupted by enemy encounters. But see this as well as a potential reward for choosing the busting in path. Not only will you be getting multiple bouts of experience, which of course is never a bad thing, especially because you've got a full party right now, but on top of that you have a good chance of encountering the Moth Slasher enemy. Now, the Moth Slasher is a pretty cool enemy, because if you have the steel material equipped, and you really should always have the steel material equipped, then you can use that to steal the powerful carbon bangle, and you can actually encounter a couple of these Moth Slashers on the way up. Now, you might not do so, so it's not a guaranteed reward this, but it is useful if you can get it, because the carbon bangle is a very nice item to equip on your party. Now, even if you don't get it, or if you don't sneak in, or if you don't bust in, you sneak in instead, don't worry too much, because you can actually encounter Moth Slashers a little bit later on in the Shinra building in order to get those carbon bangles at a point where you'll be able to farm as many as you require. But that isn't until a much later floor, so to be able to get them now is a bit of a bonus and something that, in my opinion, is worth busting in for. Now, when you finally do reach floor 59, hopefully with 1 or 2 carbon bangles now in your possession, you'll be able to go ahead and grab that elixir that would otherwise only be available to folks that chose to sneak in. Now, to do that, head over to this particular door on the western wall, and then you'll find the stairs, and it's literally just a case of going through quite a few flights of stairs, or going down a few flights of stairs, I should say, until you find the elixir. Now, don't worry, you can't miss it. It is a big blue potion-y type bottle that's just stuck slap bang in the middle of the floor. Really easy to see, but it is a bit of a journey down. But don't forget, there's no enemy encounters here, so it's not a tricky journey by any stretch of the imagination. And once you grab that elixir, well, you can just start making the journey back up. I'm actually not sure what's faster, running all the way back up here, or just running all the way back down, going back through the front entrance and using the lift to make your way back to the previous floor. To be honest with you, probably a lot faster just to run back up these stairs. Alright then guys, well that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. So as you can see, busting in through the front door is pretty much the superior option. You don't lose out on anything, you don't risk losing points for Barrett, for the gold saucer stuff later on, and you have a good chance at those carbon bangles and the Turtles Paradise Flyer, which is of course important for those of you doing that quest. But anyway guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I've been your host Simon as usual, and I'll see you next time for more Final Fantasy VII. Goodbye.